go ahead and start with our next amazing all-star. This is one of our good friends, Ajhanea Walker. Hey, girl, how are you?
Hey.
Good to see you.
Nice to see you. It's been a minute.
It has been a minute, I know. I'm trying to think, was it the summit, right? Is that the last time?
Yeah, the summit.
Yeah, I love it. Awesome. Well, she was one of our Full by Fall Summit presenters. Ajhanea, when did you find us? Where and when did you find us in the world?
So I came across Preschool All Stars in December of last year. It was just like a random ad I seen. Well, really wasn't random because I was actually searching for preschool stuff, or how to start a preschool. So I ended up coming across the ad on Facebook, and I ordered the book. That's how I came across Preschool All Stars.
Totally, yeah. So you got the book, and then you jumped into All Stars. Now you did something really cool with the Founding Family script, but we're going to talk about that in a second.
Okay.
But let's first talk about your life. Like, what was your life like before you joined Preschool All Stars? Just give us that, why the change? Why did you want something different?
So, I've always wanted to start a preschool, but prior to joining Preschool All Stars, I was like super busy doing a lot of traveling, just exploring, homeschooling my kids. We were out and about a lot, but then COVID happened and all the travel just stopped. And I was like going crazy in the house. Like, I need to get out. I need to do something. And I'm just like, what do? I didn't know what to do. I was like, maybe I'll go get a job. I haven't had a job in years. So that really wasn't an option. I just needed something. And I told my hubby, I was like, I'm going to go get a job. And he kind of looked at me like, yeah, right. that's not an option. So then I was just like going crazy for like a split second. I get back to my desk and I sat down and I got an email because I signed up for the early bird wait list in December when I ordered the book, and I kind of forgot about it. So I got an email saying that it was open, and I was like, oh, nice. And I went ahead and I signed up for Preschool All Stars.
Yeah. You snuck in.
I got in. It was so random, but it came at the perfect time. It actually came when I really needed it. I never really pay attention to the emails when they pop up on my screen. I'll just, kind of go through my email list, and then that's when I see them. But that one, it really stood out. So it was meant for me to sign up.
So you were looking for more of a creative way, an outlet for yourself, right? Like you have gifts and talents inside yourself, and you weren't able to go do that outdoors anymore. So you're looking for an outlet to do that.
Exactly. Yeah. And it was like, I already wanted to start a preschool, but with COVID happening, I think that kind of was like the perfect timing, because with travel, I love travel. So I wasn't planning on slowing down on travel anytime soon. So I don't know when I would have started a preschool had it not been for COVID, honestly.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Okay. So you got to that point. Now, you jumped in, you did the challenge, you did the Founding Family script, you posted your script. Now something happened overnight, which kind of blew me away when I saw your comment in our Facebook group. I didn't know that result had happened for you. But I'd like you to tell the story. So were you nervous to post the script? Or were you like, oh, this is no big deal. I got this. I'm like a pro. Bring it on.
Oh no. That wasn't it. I actually was pretty nervous to post it because I know a lot of people. I have good relationships with a lot of people, but I don't talk much. Joy actually kind of pulled me out a little bit when she had me speaking at the summit. Yes. But I usually don't talk much. But like I said, I know a lot of people. So I posted my Founding Family script, and within minutes, I had like 11 signups. And there was a bunch of people that started calling and texting. And I was like, whoa, what's going on? And I was just like, okay, what do I do? Because I went through the challenge so fast. I got off to a really, really fast start. I hit the ground running because, like I said, I've always wanted to start a preschool. So when I came across Joy's her book and I signed up for All Stars, everything happened so fast. It was like, this is what I've been waiting for. So I got off to a fast start. I really didn't know what I was doing, but I kind of did because I had Joy. So I posted that, and then everything just kind of blew up. By the morning, I had 23 signups, and I didn't have a curriculum. I didn't know what I was going to be teaching. I didn't have anything. I was just going. So it got crazy for me really quick.
I remember too, there's many people who say like, I just posted my script. I've already got like DMs. I've got interest in the comments. I haven't even gone to the next step yet. I have to do the next step before I can answer, but there's a DM. That's amazing. Crazy. Okay, now, did you know all 23 people? That's a good question. Did you know all 23 people? Like they were not strangers to you. You knew who they were. You're like, oh, it's my cousin, my, aunt's kid, whatever.
No. So I did have a few family members that signed up, but other than that, I didn't know anybody else. People were sharing my posts, referring me. So it kind of like, I think I had maybe 1 or 2 kids that were actually in my state. So I didn't know any of them.
Yeah.
They were completely, all complete strangers.
That's amazing. So now you've been obviously teaching your preschool for quite some time. How many total students over this time period have you signed up?
So I enrolled 30 total, and then I stopped. I didn't want to get too crazy because it was just me. And then I knew there was like, I'm in other preschool groups or not preschool groups, or like teacher groups. So I knew there was like a shortage of teachers, and I didn't want to have too many and then couldn't hire a teacher. So I kind of slowed down. I slowed down on advertising and things like that. But I still have people that would refer me. So word of mouth is still going crazy. Yeah. And then I had students that left. They went to a local preschool when school just started back this school year. And then they came back. I guess a local thing didn't work. It didn't work too well. So they came back. I had some that went off to kindergarten. Mm-hmm. And I actually have a parent that wants her son. He's in kindergarten now, but she wants me to teach him. So she's like, I don't think he's learning anything in kindergarten. I don't know. Like, it's just not the same. Yeah. So even though I'm not advertising, somebody is.
Right? I love that. Even though you're not advertising, because you've put out enough of your advertisements, those advertisements are now spreading. People are remembering you. They're mentioning you when people, you don't know the, I don't know the reach. No, you don't, the impact. Like, you have no clue what the impact is. When you put stuff out there, you're like, well, that I just put out there, spent a lot of time or money on, whatever, didn't produce anything. And you just, because it's such a short time frame, you're like, it didn't produce, right? Like, I did not get one sign up from that. And you put it into a box, but you didn't know that touched somebody over there that needed a couple days to think about it, or a couple weeks, or they knew somebody they referred. And
it's like the snowball. Once you push it down a hill, in the beginning, you got to kind of mold it and get it perfectly round. But once you push it down a hill, it just keeps going and going and going. You can't stop it if you wanted to. So they
can't stop it even if you wanted to. I love that. That is beautiful. So now that your life is different, you've got this obviously thriving online preschool program, could have more children if you chose to, but you're definitely protecting your, like, your self-care, which I love that. You know your limits. How has this, blessed your life?
Oh, definitely. Now I have something to do. I have something to look forward to. Of course, the income, and I have a 3-year-old too, so kind of he gets to interact with the kids sometimes whenever he feels like hopping onto class. Yeah. And it now, like, I do plan to open a local preschool soon, so it gives me it kind of gives me the experience that I've worked in a local preschool before, but obviously I was just an employee. I wasn't the owner. So it kind of gives me a little more insight on, what I can or what I should implement into my local preschool. So it's definitely a plus. It's trial and error for sure, but it's uncharted territory. Like, I know parents, they don't know what to expect. We're pioneering something new. So it's not like we have this, we kind of have guidelines to follow, or we have a certain way that we should or shouldn't do it. It's completely new. So parents, all they know is they want their kids to learn something. By the end of class, they just want to know if their kid learned something new. And that's really all. Like, other than that, parents, they don't know anything. Like, are you teaching? Yeah. My kid's engaged? Yeah. Okay, that's it. A lot of times they don't even sit in class. They'll, log on and go do. I have parents that'll log on. I have one, she's taking online classes. So she'll log her daughter on and she'll do her classes. Another parent, she does in-home childcare. So she'll log her child on and she'll go do classes. So once they kind of get a glimpse in, see, oh, how's it going? And then they leave. So it's definitely something new. It's something different. Don't feel like you have to compare your journey to anybody else's. Don't look at it as if it's the same as a local preschool, because it's not. It's something completely different. And, just do what works for you. You can try something. If that doesn't work, throw it to the side and try something new. Every day I'm trying new things. Like I'm always like, and then you got to keep your kids engaged. So if you notice that you're losing them, quickly reel them back in. You can switch. Like I like to switch it up sometimes. If I'm doing something and I notice the kids are not engaged, I'll say, okay, well, I'll yell out something, macaroni and cheese, and then they go, everybody freeze. And then now I kind of reel them back in, and then I'll quickly switch whatever it is that we're working on to something different. So just know that it's not anything in particular that parents are looking for. Just do you. That's all. That's all I can say. Just do what works.
That's awesome. So here's my question then. Back when you were like, I just always have wanted to do a preschool. Let me clarify. You had always wanted to do a local preschool. Is that right?
Right.
Yes. Okay. So then why? Let's walk this through, because we definitely have some people who are saying, yeah, I just want to do a local preschool, and just not right now is not the right time for local preschool. So I'm just not going to do anything. So clarify why you did choose to move forward with an online with still the hope in the future to do that local.
Okay. So yeah. So when I got not when I got the book, because I didn't wait till I got the book. I had the PDF and I started reading. And I was kind of like skipping through all of the online information because I just never wanted to start an online preschool. I feel like I'm too hands-on. I'm just super hands-on. I have to be there with my kids in order to really get through to them. So I skipped through all of that. And then that was in December. So when January came and I got the email and I looked into it, and it was just like, obviously it wasn't a good time to start a local preschool. So I was just like, maybe I'll just try it. I'll see how it works. But I didn't want to do it at all. It was just like I felt like I could get the experience and kind of, the business side of things. And at the same time, like I said, figure out what works and what doesn't work. And so I just did it. And mentally, I don't think that I even was like prepared for it. Yeah. But I did it, and I learned a lot from it. And it was like I realized that I can reach so many more students by doing an online preschool. And actually, none of my students, well, I think it was maybe about 2 of them were actually in my state. All of the rest of them were in different states. Yes. And it was like, okay, now how can I figure out, I had to figure out how I can do hands-on activities online. Right. So we just did a pumpkin experiment this week. So they got a chance to investigate pumpkins. The parents bought pumpkins. You have to be stern with your parents. Sometimes I know we're like, I don't want to ask you to buy anything, but they will. If they'll pay for school, they'll buy a pumpkin. So I had the parents buy pumpkins, and we kind of planted pumpkin seeds. We talked about the different parts of the pumpkin and things like that. So I just figured out ways that I can still be hands-on while still teaching online, because that was really the thing for me. Like I wanted to be hands-on. So that's why I didn't want to do online preschool, but I did it and I love it. I definitely don't have any regrets.
Yeah. That's awesome. Now let me clarify then. So do you think, and you just jumped in, you were like, reading everything and immediately implementing. But let's say you didn't do that. Because I mean, that's why you posted the script, you woke up, you got 23 students, you got nothing left to do other than teach those students. You know what I'm saying? Like, here we go. But let me clarify, like, let's say that you were not like that. Let's say you were like maybe somebody else who took some time and instead they were like, but I really need to plan this out. I just really need to look at the whole online thing and, really like detail it out. And let me like completely understand it really in detail. And it might take a couple months for me to do that before I ever like post a script or anything. So I just want to be prepared. Do you think you would have psyched yourself out?
Yeah, because at that time you start like overthinking things and it get crazy. I always knew I wanted to start a preschool. So when I found the information, it was just like, oh, boom, this is everything I've been looking for. So I hit the ground running. I got off to a really, really fast start. And then there were fees associated with it. I had to pay the All-Stars membership and I didn't want to pay that. So I needed to bring in some money so that it could pay for itself. Now, I can't even tell you how much it costs because it's on auto pay. And I don't look at it. I don't think about it. I know it's something that I need. I'm gonna always have the membership just because things are always evolving, things are always changing, and I know Joy is on top of it. Like she's like ahead of the curve. Like, okay, Joy's gonna do the research, she's gonna figure out what we need, and she's gonna bring it back to us by the time we need it. So I'm definitely gonna keep that membership for sure. But I don't even know how much it costs. I just got out to a fast start. I needed that membership to pay for itself. And I don't know, like I knew it was something that I wanted to do. So I didn't want to overthink things. I didn't want to talk myself out of it. I didn't want anybody else to talk me out of it. So nobody had time to talk me out. I didn't have time to talk myself out. It was just like nobody even knew. By the time anybody knew about it, it was the Founding Family script. It was it. It was like, oh, you did it already. Oh yeah, by the way. It was one of those situations. But I know some people, they don't have time. They feel like, oh, I have a job, I have kids, I have school. Like I have 5 kids. I have my youngest 2 are 1 and 3. So I'm super busy with them. I do take online classes, so full time. I do have other businesses that I run. I don't have the time either. So I really didn't have time to drag it out. Then it would have just been either I would have drug it out for a long period of time and kind of forgot about it, or I would have just been paying fees for something that I'm not even using. So I really didn't have time. I needed to get it up and running so that I could move on to the next thing.
Totally. I love that. So if we had any preschool all-stars who maybe had thought about doing, local, but they're like, it's not the right time. I don't want to do it. Maybe next year or something like that. And they have just not even contemplated about it online because it's not local, and they're on the fence about joining preschool all-stars because of that. Like, what would you tell them?
I would definitely say just go for it. I look at it, a lot of people that feel that way, they feel like maybe parents don't want, they want their kid in a local preschool to get a break from their kids, or they don't think that they will learn anything. Like you don't know what they want. You don't know how they're thinking, because me personally, especially during a time like this, I wouldn't put my kid in a local preschool. And that's just me. But there are parents that will put their kid in a local preschool. I just feel like if a kid can sit and watch YouTube for hours and then learn something, they can sit and actually, because you're actually engaging with them. That's the difference between local or online preschool and YouTube. Mm-hmm. Parents will put their kid on YouTube, and some people might argue, well, it's free, but they miss the social part, the engaging part, and that's something that parents want. Like we know they want their kids to socialize with other kids. Well, they don't get that on YouTube. So if they can sit and watch YouTube for hours and they can learn something, I feel like in an online class, they can learn a lot and they get to socialize. My students, even, they're not in the same state. One kid is like in Pennsylvania, the other kid maybe in Georgia, whatever. If a kid doesn't show up to class, they're like having me text, well, can you text his mom and ask where he is? Is he going to log on today? Like, so they're still socializing, and kids are going to be kids. They're still going to run around the house after class. So it's really nothing that they're missing. I would just say go for it. Go for it 100%. It's definitely like I feel like I'm glad I did it, because like I say, when I read that book, I completely flipped through all the online pages. I don't want to do this. I'm not going to read it. Mm-hmm. But I don't regret it at all. I'm 100% glad that I started online preschool, because I wouldn't have started. I wouldn't have the income that I have from it. I wouldn't have the experience, so that when I do open my local, I'll know like curriculum, what kids like, what keep them engaged, all that stuff. It's like a trial and error period without the overhead expense. So I get to learn the kids. I get to learn what they like. I get to learn what works and what doesn't work. But I don't have the overhead expense. I don't have to pay for a location. I don't have to, pay all the utilities that come with it and things like that. Yeah. So it's definitely something I would say try it. Just try it. Go for it.
That's awesome. I love it. Well, you're phenomenal. Ajhanea, thanks so much for being here with us, friend. We'll see you soon, all right?
Bye.
If you loved today's episode, then you are going to love this. I want to give you a free gift in your hands. This is a copy of my book, Start Your Preschool, and I want to get it to you for free. Yes, I said for free. It is a 300-page book. It'll help you learn the step-by-step process to actually starting your local or your online preschool. Every single step that I walked myself through, as well as the thousands of women who've created their own successful preschools, have gone through the exact steps listed in this book. Not to mention, I also share 20 amazing women's stories. So you can see how not only did it work for me, but it works for amazing women just like you as well. I want to get you this free copy. Just go to freepreschoolbook.com or click the link in the description and we'll get it to you today. Again, just go to freepreschoolbook.com and we'll get it right to you.